ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown, but we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning. You wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face, got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption ever came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, 'cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone, so save your judgment 'cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break, swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. We crawl around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly. Crawl around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, baby, you The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue. They change but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but delightful to live through. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. Seasons turn and change just like your mind. Like the sun gives into the moon, into the night. Time continues marching, it slowly crawls. With each new one starting, I recall. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. Time of year carries memories like a never fading whisper in the breeze. Oh, we will keep on changing all over again. Yeah, we will keep on changing just like another season. Don't want another day without you by my side. Oh, this season. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Just like another season.
Still as a breeze, a river flowing deep. Don't wanna leave the air you breathe. Living me dreams when I think of you and me. Don't wanna leave the world you see, and I will hold you down if love is still alive. It's all forgiven to my eyes. The tide has turned around. Just listen to the sound. Two hearts beating
Alliances turn to ban. Dire team ban. Alliances turn to ban.
Wstań, Mix!
Dire team pick. Alliances turn to pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Alliances turn to pick.
Grimstroke.
The first game of this best of 3 series in the upper division of the Western European DPC League coming your way here. Dream League Season 15 powered by Intel. And we have got the draft ready for you all. Very curious to see what the teams will have in store for each other. We know that the Hellbear Smashers really want this victory, but we also know that it's very difficult to draft against Alliance because, as pointed out earlier, there's a lot of tanky boys. And speaking of them, we already got a few here. I guess one way of preventing Alliance from picking tanky boys is picking them yourselves.
Okay.
Whoa.
Very early TA pick, but I've seen Stormstormer. They were playing that today, actually, in the Pinnacle Cup. They were. They were winning, and they're also doing quite well in that tournament. Of course, more populated with Tier 2 than Tier 1 teams. If you look through Alliance's DOTA buff, you'll find a lot of the games that they've lost, not the series, were to teams that had superior late game and the ability to control Roche. They lost to Void twice, lost an Elder Titan, Morphling, Shadow Demon, Willow, and I think if I'm Hellbear here, I'm looking to kind of double down, get the early edge with TA, maybe take a Roche, but also have Ace on something that can secure you the game after 30 minutes. And Alliance, of course, keeping it simple. Grimstroke Mars, flexible, but likely the offlane Mars. The Limp will play it.
I guess the main thing when looking at Alliance so far in the season, they've pretty much been able to win games in most capacities, right? They've had the games where they've stomped, they've had the games where they had to make the comebacks. Yeah. And that is where Hellbear Smashers, the way that they've played is often very, when they've won games, been non-stop aggression, skirmishing, that instant collapsing of the map. And it, like, they need to make sure they don't slip up because Alliance will be the team that will capitalize on like one miscue. Let's say Stormstormer gets a bit too eager with a Blink Dagger. Suddenly he's now inside the Mars and So yeah, a lot of pressure on Smashers just to try and execute because that has been some of the issues is overplaying their hand because Alliance, very clean, very methodical in making sure they always find a way to victory.
Yep. Hellbear, unfortunately, they kind of crumble at times, it feels. They drop the ball. Not quite as hard as maybe Team Spirit did the other day. That was tough to watch, but...
It is kind of a product of the composition of Smashers. When your captain is in the offlane role, the role that often can be sacrificed within draft and game, it is hard to keep up that kind of psychological aspect of let's get the boys motivated to find the win. So it is also kind of just a unique position.
Yeah, no, I experienced that myself. As offlane, you typically don't have an accurate read on how the game is going because you're so focused on your own lane. As a 5, you know what you feel, you have a better idea of how is the entire game going from a top-down level. Is my carry happy? Is my mid happy? Offlane, you're not supposed to be happy.
Yeah, it's kind of what you see, I guess, with Alliance, you know, S4 being the captain in offlane, and then they push in FNG as well. Of course, that's kind of an old transfer, but you can see why they're bringing in more experienced voices within the team because, again, you cannot have your captain be the sole shot caller from the offlane.
Especially on some of the more, I remember trying to play micro-intensive heroes. Oof. Trying to play Furion and shot call is impossible.
Your only call is, haha, I've skipped the wave. Haha, I go rat, you know? Like, it only gets you so far.
See, the bans from Hellbear make a lot of sense. And this is the danger, though, when you do first 2 TA. You have to cover it now. All 3 bans targeted up against lane counters. And there's just, you have to. Like, this hero has to start off well. Has to be able to control Ancients, cannot do so against heroes like bad.
But that also means that they can't spend those bans on the heroes we keep saying Alliance are really good at.
Yeah, I guess the main thing here is for Smashers, when they have this pick phase for the TA, they're still going to be able to respond later with having the carry pick, right? They're going to be able to see 4 heroes, then pick carry. So they don't have to ban counters to their carry because they'll have another 2 bans for it. Alliance, they make sure they have some kill threat on the TA now with the clockwork. is pretty annoying for all points of the game just because you have the hook shot, you have the vision.
10
Yeah,
seconds
you can never really
remaining.
sneak a Roshan with a TA because, of course, the flare. You can rotate
I always
early
like
to mid.
playing against Clock, though. You can Sideblade off the cogs. It's a lower armor hero. And
I guess the main thing is
you
you're
don't
setting
really-
someone else up, though. That's what I'm afraid.
Sure.
And so far, I mean, Alliance is, I think, the only team that has gone 3 games with all their series, right? So they have the biggest amount of games played.
That's true.
They've not yet played Clockwork this season, that is.
Interesting. I suppose they see it as an answer to the Centaur in the laning phase.
Turn to pick.
Not really much you can do.
Okay, they go for a Lion.
The Clock loops up behind you. And pretty standard. I really like Lion with a more burst damage centered cores, notably Ursa and TA, because you have so much control that you then set up very easily for this Blink hero to come in, pack a ton of
10
damage out in
seconds
3-4
remaining.
seconds.
I guess the key thing here is Smashers. They're doing a
5
Centaur
seconds
Lion lane
remaining.
against Alliance. This is basically the same as doing like Timberline against VP.
Yeah.
You know, it's their bread and butter. They should know exactly what plays well into this lane. And Smashers isn't really being too, I guess, flexible with their heroes. Like every single hero is kind of has face value. And same to Alliance, pretty much.
I wonder if they save Limp or Nico Baby's hero here, because you do have flexibility still with the Mars. We aren't sure yet whether it'll be 2 or 3.
Just life. I guess you.
Dragon Knight is pretty nice against TA. The laning isn't perfect, but later in the game, you really enjoy it. They go for the
Medusa. Okay.
Okay. That certainly gives you the late game advantage. Quite nice against Centaur Lion in lane, if that's the route you want to go. I think with the Clock, there's no real way to play offensively on the Medusa.
Now, if there wasn't a TA already picked, I'd be like
10 seconds
pretty happy for like a
remaining.
Spectre. Just have the big carry v carry fight. You just slay everyone. But because
5
of TA,
seconds remaining.
they naturally want to be a bit more kind of fight hungry. So I'm probably not going to be seeing that.
It's not
They
a bad
could also-
PL game.
Oh, it smashes. Go for a little cheeky Arc Warden.
Oh, that's it.
There it
Oh,
is.
the Ace Arc.
Dude, we saw that. Who was it
I
playing?
mean, they played it against OG. It did not work out, though, but it was close.
It was
I
a
remember
that
it
was
being
a great
very
game,
close.
to be
You're right,
fair.
you're right, you're right.
Fnatic played, I think it was Obi Neon, and crushed him with an Arc Warden in near, I think, 31-32 minutes. It's excellent against the Dusa, but more importantly, I think it plays well with the hero or the concept that Hellbear are going for, because you'll have traps everywhere.
Yep.
You'll have a Lion, and Lion plays best when there's pressure happening all at once, you know, with chaos. You can hide in the trees, play in a side lane, and then, oh, there's a TA here as well. Like any hero that pops up, suddenly you have an Arc Warden porting in with just a clone, and you're finding a kill. Maybe you lose the line. It doesn't matter because your core is there virtually.
If you want an Arc Warden, would you pick it up
Dire
now?
team ban.
Yes.
Yeah, you were not going to wait for the final pick. They go for the monkey instead.
I'm not a huge fan because they just won't put the Mars there.
I think they probably will, though, just because you have, like, there's no other, like, the tri-lane of a Medusa.
I mean,
pretty
Liv
bad,
can
right?
play Mars as well. He's played it a couple
Maybe.
times this season.
10
I guess the main
seconds
thing for the
remaining.
monkey
Turn to
pick is simply the last time that we saw him play Monkey King on Ace, he went for a quick BKB, quick Desolator, and it was like a pressure. He's playing with a TA, she'll go for the Desolator Blink, but it's about just flooding the map. When they played this TA strategy earlier today, they played into Slark, Warlock, like big team fight, big just annoyance, and they just had cheap
10
items to
seconds
take
remaining.
fights. That's kind of what Smash
We'll
is
see.
playing for.
It might be the
Yeah.
first time the Clock comes out, but this is a perfect
5
game for the
seconds
hero.
That's so true, yeah.
You know, all you're really doing is protecting your Dusa. You get vision control. If you see the monkey in the trees, boom, you've got
Every
it.
hook shot feels great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just,
Dire team ban.
it's such a nice hero to have here. And Hellbear Smashers, their lineup really requires initiation and some sort of jump advantage, which is tough to get because Alliance are going to be comfortable just sitting on their heels farming. They will have the late game the way the draft looks right now.
In regards to Alliance, I'd like to see the Clock actually in a 5 role in this game.
Yeah, me too.
Because Medusa
10
needs someone to
seconds
cushion
remaining.
the aggression
Yeah.
of that. So it's just going to be Grim Mars offlane duo, Clock bodying for the
5
Medusa,
seconds
and it just
remaining.
makes the 5 Clock even more happy that
Which is really my concern because I think Grimstroke Mars is pretty damn good against a Monkey King.
There's a lot of damage for sure there. And that's why this last pick 5, Alliance is banning out much stronger potent laners with the Enchantress, for example. What can
Alliances
fill that
turn
role, though,
to
as a bit more of a
ban.
laning presence?
I like the DK ban.
Well, it's not game 3
What
yet.
could
They can let it
Alliance
through. Yeah.
pick last overall?
I mean, there's a lot of heroes still in the pool that Lim plays if he's not going to be the one playing the Mars.
Sure,
10
but
seconds
it's the
remaining.
matchup against TA. That's the thing. And
Oh, this is
Razor
good.
DK both
Dire
win the
team
lane or
ban.
at least trade, but more importantly, the link. Like they would neuter the Smasher's damage output And that's really all you have to do as Alliance so far in this draft, is just delay the game until your Adeuce is online.
Love this Oracle ban as well. It's less about laning pressure at this point, but more about the fact that Monkey King will be able to stand his ground, into Medusa will also stand her ground.
remaining.
It gives that Monkey a little bit extra into the fight. And of course, Oracle into a 4-position Grimstroke will have some upsides there with a Purge on the Inkswell. And now they need to think of a strong 5 position that can lane into both Mars and Grimstroke.
Chen.
They've done it before.
I think you need creeps in your draft. That's my concern.
Sorry
Because
to
right
bother
now,
it.
Centaur, in theory, is going to be your frontliner. But right now, the way Hellbear Smashers take fights are like
Alliances
the
turn to
isolated fawn, and everybody pounces. They don't really want to be walked at.
Okay, yeah.
That works.
I was thinking like maybe they want to go for a bit more team fight just to give them something to get over the hurdle, and they actually have quite a nice lineup, honestly. It's going to be, the key thing for them is their laning phase should be okay. The only concern is simply the Grim Mars
10
into Monkey might be
seconds
pretty
remaining.
annoying, but the Warlock kill offsets that. And it's all about that first Roshan. How do you get that 8 Roshan,
seconds
itemize for
remaining.
aggression, and break down the map before Nika Baby eventually will find the farm that he always does get? What is the active mid now that can apply pressure to the Templar Assassin?
Puck, Lena, or Lena's gone. Puck's in the pool, but not a great matchup.
Just go casual. Oh, Viper's banned. All right, okay, don't worry.
Yeah,
I was gonna say casual Viper. That would be sick.
Yeah. Or you just put the Mars mid. Should be all right against T. I don't think it's favored at all. And then S4 gets something that he's comfortable with against a Monkey. Leshrac actually looking really good here.
Pugno.
Okay.
All right.
That can be a little dangerous. So it's all about Limp's positioning in this game, because you can see the strategy for Alliance. It's kite and win the war of attrition within a team fight. If the engagement goes on for 20, 30 seconds or more, Alliance are probably winning it. Hellbear Smashers, you need to strike hard and fast, get a kill, drop the Golem, another one, Fatal Bonds, Tower or Roche, keeping up the aggression. They want skirmishes, not big 5-on-5s, and Alliance, their team fight's pretty nuts.
Yeah, I'd love to see a quick nullifier on the TA. Potentially have some arguments where if Ace wants to go full aggression, go for the Deso, then TA maybe goes for like the nullifier, and then you mirror a quick Deso, Monkey King, quick nullifier on TA, double whammy, then take the fight. But yeah, this is all about Smashers is high pace, cheap items, pressure the map, whilst Alliance, they've gone, we know that we're the better team. We're going to just play it slow. We'll fortify our areas of Mars for area control, vision advantage with clockwork, and then Nikabe will eventually scale to being unkillable.
I wouldn't mind like skipping Blink on the TA this game. Like a Dragonlance Hurricane Pike later, just because you're playing against Clock. I think you're going to run into trouble on Smashers if you invest too much into early Blink Daggers. And let's say Ace does go for an aggressive build. Suddenly you have so much gold spent on positioning tools, one fight lost, and suddenly Medusa farms the triple ancient camp, and it's just like, oh, well, okay, we lost.
And for a team coming in as the underdog here as Smashers, do you like that the pressure is on them?
I like the fact that they've had a series already today in a different tournament. They've had success with certain heroes, and they're bringing that straight into this series, riding kind of the coattails of previous success. So it puts them in a, we've already won with this. We know we could maybe win and prove everyone that we
They got to get out of the back line. It's Grimstroke Pugna as well. This is like the OG TI winner special. You get space in a fight, double decreps, this whole, almost all of the damage.
Killing him late game. Oh, the suck and then
It's all
late game's disgusting. Oh.
So you both still think that despite you like what Smashers has, Alliance still going to run away with this one?
I just hope that Smashers have come out swinging so that we get a close game and we get to see the clutch team fights that both these teams should be able to present going into the late game.
Okay, the hopes are for a close game here in the first game of the best of 3. Let's find out if we're going to get exactly that. It is over to Moxie and Purge for game 1.
All right, well, this is a big day potentially for Alliance, and it looks like they're sticking with the tried and true, as well as the Hellbear Smashers here, Purge. Got a lot of early aggression coming out from this draft.
Yeah, I like what Alliance is doing here with their heroes. Pugna Grimstroke is really, really strong in the mid game before BKBs come out. So, and usually heroes like TA or Monkey King buy at least one item before they get BKBs. So if Alliance has great positioning, if their Clockwork Hook shots disjoint some of the chain stones or the nice team fight that Hellbear Smashers want to do, they have great solutions. I mean, just putting like a cogs between Centaur, who's initiating, and everybody else on his team is really beneficial to make sure that those heroes can't fall upon your disable. So Alliance has some really good tools here to deal with the enemy draft.
Now, do you agree with what Kyle's saying on the desk? I know that's a tricky thing to answer because I know a lot of us.
My brain turns off when Kyle starts talking. What did he say?
So he said that he would prefer actually, with Stormstormer here on the TA, not to go for that Blink Dagger super early on.
I mean, it sounds like a cool idea in theory, but I don't play TA, so it's like one of those questions where I'm like, yeah, okay, I could theory craft that and it sounds good, but in practice, it probably has some major issues. Like TA is pretty vulnerable if she gets caught, for example. So having a blink dagger sometimes is like the best way to get in cleanly, get a kill, and then get out. If you have to walk in first, it can be really dangerous. I mean, it would help them like hit towers earlier, I guess, because Monkey King can sometimes struggle with that a little bit, but I don't see why you wouldn't just itemize Monkey King for the towers and allow TA to be ready to blink initiate personally. But maybe there's some value in what Kyle said. I just haven't played the hero enough to justify that. But considering I see every TA by blink dagger, I have to assume that would be a poor decision for some reasons.
Okay, that's fair enough. I know like the big thing he was concerned about was mostly the fact that you do have this clockwork, right? He's going to be trying to disrupt these fights as much as possible, and having, you know, something later on like that Dragon Lance into the Hurricane Pike could be very, very value.
Yeah, I could absolutely see it be like some kind of a mid-game item, depending if they don't need nullifiers too badly or if Stormstormer's being pressured too much. Absolutely, that could be a reasonable thing to go Dragonlance, even with Blink Dagger at some point into potential Hurricane Pike. But I haven't seen too many Hurricane Pikes for a while now. Even with like the prevalence of like Drow Ranger being played by Dragonlance, they don't go for the full Hurricane Pike usually. It just feels like it's not. I don't know. It's still pretty expensive. For what it gives, even though it did get buffed recently, arguably with the Force Staff change, it gives you more health than it used to. It actually gives you, like, what is this, 500 health Hurricane Pike gives you. It's a pretty beefy item right now due to the Force Staff change, but people still don't buy it. So just seems like damage or other items are more important.
Fair enough. So it feels like right now the side on Hellbear Smashers, they want to play DOTA very quickly. They want to try to take advantage of the snowball effect if they can get it online. But on the flip side of that, got some really nice options here coming out from the side of Alliance, right? You've got Limp playing the Pugna, and he's going to be able to, you know, we talked about the double Decrepify, which is super, super nice, the double suck, as T was also mentioning. And then, of course, you've got Nico Baby, who's a beast at farming. So this guy, you know, eventually he's just going to plop himself over in that triangle region, most likely. Can the Hellbear Smashers, are they going to be able to disrupt these farming patterns and whatnot?
They can for sure. I mean, if they win the lanes, it's going to be a lot easier to be aggressive. Pugna playing from behind doesn't feel the greatest, but he usually lanes quite well, so it's difficult for that to happen. And yeah, he could be ganked, but we're talking about a Warlock who's not going to gank very often, maybe once or twice tops. And Lion can gank, but isn't the most durable or the best at initiating, so you can deal with him if you spot his rotations or have good wards. So I don't really see Pugna necessarily getting behind. Medusa should pretty safely farm. Mars should do okay, but has some issues potentially against Monkey King. So I guess that's the lane to watch maybe, is how well the Monkey King is able to do against S4 on the Mars. If they can win that lane abnormally hard, if they can get some good tower pressure, maybe with rotating heroes and that kind of thing, it can be really good. Is that balanced? I believe that's how he said it. Is that the correct?
I believe so. I believe that sounds like the correct inflection.
We've all heard that. We've all watched that video many times.
Have indeed. All of these different fun voice lines and sprays that are getting dumped everywhere here.
30 seconds to battle.
I, for one, have been enjoyed spamming Suns fan all over my map.
Yeah, the graphics are cool. I mean, it's very different, right? Because it's not all the graphics are top tier, but these Alliance ones are really good.
They're really nice, yeah. I think Wogies, I believe, is the person who went and designed these. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. But yeah, they definitely put time and effort into them. Although, you know, I'm a fan of the Hellbear Smashers, the little stick figure guy that they have during the draft, you know? Somebody had to make that too.
The battle
over to your friends who haven't seen. Oh, I see on their flags. Yeah. I could have made that, guys.
That's it, guys.
Fine.
Purge is now offering. He's going to be offering up his services here to design sprays. Hit him up, Purge gamers.
I too can design terrible graphics for tier 1 team.
Hey, how dare you say that? That is a great graphic. I enjoy the little Hellbear that they drew. It's not quite, you know, the level of Alliance here, obviously. It's very nicely done. But, all right, we've got that mid lane matched up here. Creeps coming in. Pretty much even. And so it begins.
Oh, he goes for Blast, not Decrep level 1. Opting to pressure TA a bit more, I suppose.
Oh, he gets the courier.
He does.
Oh! Oh, no!
That's really unfortunate. He was so close to the top of the hill, but he must have counted as lower, and as a result, he missed. Really big bummer there.
God, imagine how much that would change around this lane if he was able to get the snipe on the courier this early.
It wouldn't like massively change things, but it's obviously a really big deal. At least it's not. I don't know. Like it's okay. It would have been. It's a little bit of gold, but he got his magic stick at least. It would have hurt my regen later for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like the fact that, you know, trying to go for the bottle or whatnot and not being able to just call it to yourself easily. It's in the bottom lane. Rasmus is poking away over here. Niko Baby, but Gilgear on the back line. FNG is really just poking here. Can they finish him off? That's a question. The creep wave will try to use the tree. Tries to salve up. Can they turn this back around? They should be able to. Yes, FNG will fall. And Gilgear sits on very little health.
I mean, that was such good harass on Gilgear initially, and I thought he was dead by turning back to the right, but the south play absolutely worked out. They get enough right clicks in, and a first blood. Really good for them. Gets split, I suppose, so but they both get decent gold there. Not bad.
And there's more harass that they can place over on the Medusa as well, knowing that you don't have that pesky clock poking around the back lines.
He's back already, not that deal. Ace on the top lane doing a great job dodging nukes so far from Grimstroke. They're just going to spam out this wave. Tofu healing Ace and Fatal Bonding entire creep waves and them. If they stay low, then they're going to have to play even more carefully here. Out of worry of going for kills, but they've got a decent amount of regen still. Just gonna be a pain to quickly. Seems like Stormstormer is not going to go for a bottle this game. I'm not super surprised because from what I've seen, TAs do spend a lot of time jungling in the mid game, especially if they are like the mid laning stage. You know, like they'll like jump into the jungle and they'll take a camp pretty commonly, and that's one of the things that just means that they don't really need as much HP regen because they're not constantly in lane. They have cleave on creep waves anyway, so just like little dip ins here to grab water runes is already going to be more than enough. So I think it's not that like this is why it's not that big of a deal if this courier got sniped. But most other heroes, absolutely. You don't want to delay that bottle.
Just know the value of having all of these runes available now if you're able to, you know, fill up a bottle and whatnot. In the bottom lane, though, FNG, he's taking a lot of this damage again. Rasmus, can they finish it off? They do. He's just having a good time over there. My goodness. Has to be careful, though. Niko Baby shouldn't be able to finish him off as in the top lane. As for, oh, he misses the spear. So Ace going to be fine. Just going to heal right back up again and could potentially poke away here at S4.
Not bad. Yeah, that'll cost them. There's still a... Oh, no, there's no Salpanskin running back to base. That's going to keep them on a lane for a bit here. Tofu will take some damage, though. He's got to be a little careful about a stun, but no, he's not going to go for it. So this will all be fine. TA has 23 last hits right now. So Stormstormer is doing really good. But it's probably some small camps inflating him a little bit. If we look at the network total, they're actually dead even. So we'll just ignore the CS total for those two guys. Rasmus still low, but he's about to get his Arena of Health, so looks like all the lanes are pretty stabilized for everybody.
Yeah, I don't imagine that we're going to be seeing a lot of movement early on. Probably not until we see level 6s, most likely here, considering the playmaking heroes that we have on board for both sides. And of course, for Stormstormer, probably not going to see much rotation until he gets that first item, or if he gets a particularly nice rune.
Exactly, yeah. You just don't see TAs rotate that often. It's you just farm so quickly because you effectively have a Battle Fury or whatever. I mean, it's 100% cleave damage. Keep in mind, Battle Fury just got nerfed down to like 40% cleave. So why gank when you can just jungle super fast and get ahead? Unless your team really needs it, but that's more of like a draft issue or stabilizing lanes that have lost more than they should, that kind of a thing. So if he can just play his game and get his normal high tempo farm acceleration thing, then it'll be fine.
It feels like this top lane is going pretty well for the Hellbear Smashers, and I believe that is one of the requirements necessary for the side of Hellbears to, you know, get that tempo going.
Yeah, but and while Mars is a little bit behind, it's the same for Centaur on both sides, so that's like a really even game right now. The Vanguard timing will certainly help for Centaur. That's one thing that's really good for Hellbears. Once they get that, they can't really pressure him well with Medusa. While she does have snake damage, you know, right click is definitely some of that, so having Vanguard to protect yourself from that's going to open up Gilgear and give him space to move across the map as well.
But is this also a situation where, you know, the Monkey King should be able to make some moves around the map earlier, whereas Niko Baby is going to want to plop himself over in one of those areas and just continue to farm up?
It's basically the same for both. Oh, we're going to see a little go on Medusa bottom. Oh, no, just a Hex alone.
Dire's top tower is
Heard you getting me.
Fine.
Look at you.
Hey,
you liar.
Hey, look. Pro players do not waste spells. Almost always. That was clearly a miscommunication or a misread, or they saw clockwork when they weren't expecting. That's all. That's all.
Purge coming for my job, Loucas.
What I was saying before, though, is that Centaur and Monkey wanted to play the same way. They want to stay in the lane and continue getting last hits while preventing the opponent from getting as much farm there. So I don't really expect to see them do that many rotations.
Fair enough here. Yeah, pace the game pretty slow for the time being. Just gonna be seeing each of these heroes working on their next big item. Do see a bit of the stacks coming out here. Stormstormer, again, being able to use those side blades always feels pretty good when you're able to use the jungle to your advantage.
Boy, is it. And that's going to give him still about the same net worth as the Pugna, actually. And now some mid-pressure. Hanskin rotates over with the catapult. Really nice move here. Oh, Mars is fine. Little damage on TA.
Bit of a slow, but they have a rotation here from Tofu. Gonna try to push them back. Fatal bonds are applied. And they'll turn right back around again and just start life draining away. Oof. That damage. But they defend their tower for now.
Yeah, that's worth it. They've got Salve. He can heal back up. Pressured again. Honestly, Refraction does pretty good against life drain, surprisingly. It really blocks the first couple of seconds.
FNG is just bullying Gilgir here. In fact, he gets himself a solo kill.
He does have boots on Lion. Just got caught, I guess. The Observer were probably spotting him out and letting FNG get that grab, and now Rasmus in trouble, maybe?
I mean, they've been poking each other back and forth for a while now. The battery assault coming out here from FNG. We'll go grab him up in the cogs. There's a rotation here from Hanskin as well. They should be able to get themselves a nice kill. Hanskin will take down Rasmus, and Gilgir will teleport back in, but does need to be very careful.
That one was really lucky. That battery assault caught Centaur when there's like 3 melee creeps right there. And I think he only had like 1 or 2 chances for battery assault to hit. The fact that it hit him let him get close enough to do cogs, and that's what guaranteed the kill. I thought it was lost, personally. I was like, oh, he got there like a fraction of a second too late, but he ends up getting the kill as a result. So that's what a great minute for FNG there, getting 2 kills.
Definitely feels pretty value here. Couple stacks again, like we talked about, is going to be very important for both sides. Stormstormer is just forced away though here on the side.
Putting the pressure on him.
Oh, we got level 6 online too for S4 as well. Surprised if we see some sort of plays coming out soon from the Mars.
Same thing keeps happening. He approaches the creep wave, he gets decrypt drained. I almost wonder if he'd be better if he'd go somewhere else at this time, but the reality is that if he leaves, then Pugna's just going to take his tower really quickly here.
Yeah, Stormstormer can't do a whole heck of a lot. Get the D-ward off here in the mid lane, and it's just nether blast after nether blast, as we also take down the psionic traps as well on the side of Alliance. So yeah, I mean, either way, I think you lose this tower pretty quickly. You're up against a Pugna, right?
Yeah, there's not that much you can do.
Stormstormer?
Oh, Stormstormer.
Oh, Hanskin and FNG have found themselves a TA, but they won't be able to get the kill on FNG. So Hanskin now having to be very, very careful. It's going to get the pot, the little trap pop, followed up with the Earth Spike, and Tofu will collect the kill.
Is under attack.
Not terrible. I thought that was really looking bad for Stormstormer, but good choice for him to just turn around and go for that kill. Grab some nice neutral items as well. The sentry is going to block his ancient spot, but it's not the end of the world for him considering he got some kills out of it. So small gold advantage now for Hellbear Smashers. I think this has probably been Mars sacrificing a little bit. Not too bad, actually. He's doing fine. 500 net worth behind Ace. So despite what seems like Grimstroke just being mid for the entirety of the mid game here, Alliance is still doing good. I mean, they got the mid tower. All their heroes still have good farm, and they got the. I mean, that's decent for him. I think it looks fine. Alliance is in a good spot.
Top tower is under attack.
And the pressure is on here in the top lane. Limp is making his own rotation. They just want to take down all these towers and start to make the jungle feel a little bit claustrophobic here for Hellbear Smashers.
If they do that, it's going to be easier to invade against TA or anybody else. There's Stampede.
Stampede down in the bottom. Gilgir's here along with the Monkey King. They're looking to blow up Nico Baby. They're going to be able to. The follow-up though here from Limp. Have to decryptify. They go. They use the life drain and they're doing a decent amount of damage. Rather than just taking down over to the side, they do manage to get the kill onto FNG. Nico Baby goes down, but they lose Ace, and they're gonna end up losing Gilgir.
Hey, I mean, they lost out a bit, but Limp gets a double kill, which is really good for him. But I think that was okay, honestly. Killing the Medusa for that's gonna slow down their farm speed. I mean, that was like a, what, 500 net worth disadvantage from losing that fight. That felt okay to me for Hellbear Smashers. I really like that early rotation. The ulti pop, we don't really see that feel very good early, but that was one of the best early game Monkey King ultimates I've ever seen in my whole life. So just unfortunate his stun was on cooldown, so he didn't get to stun the life drain right away, but that was all right. Kill Medusa, slow her down, limit her farm speed, because you don't want her to get to the ultra late game. And in the meantime, TA's farming. And giving Pugna a little gold advantage doesn't matter.
Ooh, the arena, spear to the wall, and of course the life drain. That's a dead Rasmus. Stormstormer is rotating down with Guild Gear. Meeting the hook shot though coming in from FNG, cogging up. That's another kill going over to Lip. And looks like we'll probably lose FNG here because they are not happy about this on the side of the Smashers, but they do have to be careful. Hanskin making his way over here. Again, that Decrepify over on the TA. There's not much that she can do against us at this time. Gonna clear up the creep wave, and they're gonna keep on pressuring the tower.
Flip is doing a great job showing us how good this last pick Pugna was. He just decrep life drains everybody, and they can't do anything. Look at this. Here it is again.
Again, and they do have the Ink Swell on top of it. They just have to close the gap over onto Ace. They'll stun him. Oh, a little bit of a whiff spear here coming out from S4. So they go use the Stampede. Stormstormer chasing after S4. Got the tree dance over on the side here for the monkey as he leaps back down again. It's just going to try to take down the Pugna ward. Another shot coming out. They'll drop the Chaotic Offering. They've had enough of Limp, for God's sakes. On the back line, though, Hanskin does get left behind. And S4 is trying to wait patiently. Will try to push this Golem away. Oh, the stun, though, coming out. The spear, though, is able to save Limp. He's still alive, but not for much longer. Eventually, he will fall to Tofu.
Dude, that was really cool from Ace. The stun into Primal Spring. I'm pretty sure it's going to kill Pugna because he was decrept as well, but that spear prevented it from connecting. That was really cool. But either way, that Golem felt like rage to me as well, did it? Like, it was like spite, like, stop draining us, please.
Yeah, they've had enough.
But it worked out, actually. They get a big fight. They finally take away the killing spree on Limp. It goes to Tofu. Congrats to him for his new 400 gold. And that's kind of what they need, though. He's going for a fast 4-staff. If he gets a 4-staff, that's the hard counter to the life drain, guys. Getting people away from Pugna is clearly the only way they can stop the damn thing.
Yeah, there's a couple solutions here. You know, you've got that to help with the life drain. You've got that to help with the cogs. It's really a very valuable item in this particular game against this Alliance draft. But what's is going on? You can see that smoke is coming out here for the side of the Hellbear Smashers. Now, we do have a Blink Dagger picked up now for the Mars. The positioning is going to be a big deal here.
Absolutely. If they can catch Warlock or Lion or
look at the way
anybody but Centaur, it looks good.
I like this. I like this movement. They know that this Medusa is going to want to be hanging out in the jungle here, so they're protecting her. They smoke up around the area, and they're on the hunt.
All right, let's see how the smoke breaks here. Hanskin's going to place a ward. They're going to see right away. This could reveal that there's a smoke.
Hook shot. Immediately over onto the TA. They'll pin her to the wall. They just need enough damage. The Hex does buy a bit more time, but eventually they will kill Stormstormer as Liv sitting on the very far back line gets the kill onto Gilgir. Double soul by double silence coming out here as well as they'll try to burst them down. Can they do it in time? Oh, the stun coming up from Ace will be able to keep the Warlock alive. Rasmus looking, oh, good shield bash though again coming out here as they just can't seem to get their hands on the side of Alliance right now, even with this Warlock slow coming out from Tofu.
His upheaval level's really paying off here. He's got 2 points right now, and that's the only reason that they're having some success in disengaging, because these fights just look almost impossible for the Smashers to take. If they jump on TA like that, they almost saved them. The healing ward came out, but the cog push did a little bit too much damage and guaranteed his death. So things looking good for Alliance. They're getting the pressure on the map. Medusa's still hitting creeps, finally catching up a bit. Before that fight started, Medusa's net worth was not very close to TA's, but now it's looking pretty good. So Alliance is chipping away at the small lead that Hellbear Smashers had.
I think the other thing is, oh gosh, she even has the Manta completed now for the Medusa, is just the idea that, you know, Nico Baby, he's going to farm so incredibly fast. This is a hero that, you know, just like we said, sits over in the triangle area, just hits creeps, has the split shot. And the Smashers have not been able to really challenge it past that one time in the lane in the bottom.
It's difficult to get on top of her and get that kill. They have some lockdown, obviously, between Lion, but the Monkey King and the TA are a little redundant in what they do in terms of them just doing physical damage. The Pugna kind of counters that already. So, like, if any of these fights happen and they just decrep the Medusa, I think she's actually, it's impossible for her to die. There's literally not enough damage that can burst her. So it's really difficult for Hellbear Smashers to take these engagements.
You know, you got to give credit to Stormstormer. He is farming quite well. But it definitely, you know, it always feels like whenever we say, this draft is on the clock. Well, not the clockwork, obviously, but, you know, the timing within the game. It's always feels a bit sweaty, I guess, is a good way to put it.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. And Alliance off their opponents. A ward to have.
We do have.
Notice them retreating.
Yeah, we've got the blink though online here for the Centaur. So that's going to be a little bit more lockdown, perhaps. You know, like the panel said, oh, the hook shot not connecting. Look at how fast they just back off as for even popping that haste rune. But, you know, the one thing that they said is that this draft coming out from Hellbear Smashers, they don't necessarily want to take a 5v5, right? They're looking for small skirmishes. They're looking for these pickoffs.
This is pretty good for them to potentially roach it. With hookshot being down, Clockwork's not going to be able to be as
They scan immediately. Look at this.
Is it going to be fast enough, though? We'll see.
I don't know.
A lot of physical damage.
I mean, they don't have the DOTA. Nico Baby's all the way back at base. He teleported home, so I'm not sure. Do they still try this?
Aim and hook into ceiling.
Nah,
it's just done.
It belongs to the side of the Hellbears.
They get a pick off. They're going to grab S4. At least he's got blink, though.
Does have the blink. He's got someone nearby, though. Immediately saying, all right, they fight up with this arena. The soulbite comes out. The finger came out, but it wasn't enough damage as they split it off to the side. They do manage to go and drop down. They get the kill over onto Hanskin on the back lines. S4, he survived a little bit longer, but he is going to eventually fall. But that is, again, the Aegis getting taken off of the TA.
All right, they're going to look for some more kills if they can get them. A lot of cooldowns. They should have hookshot now, though.
They have the DOTA nearby now, too.
A great fight for them, though.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Started from the missed hook shot. I think it was blind when he threw the hook shot. I believe their smoke broke, so he thought somebody was standing on that cliff is what happened. And because of that, they get Aegis. That trap was able to catch S4. He did not blink in time. He could have blinked after it triggered, but he didn't get it off in time. That forced him to use a less than ideal ulti. And then a great initiation from the TA as well. They burn Aegis for it, which is a great kill, but still 2 kills, and they got the tier 1 tower. Excellent for the Smashers, but they're gonna have to keep more tempo. This is not by any means the end of the world.
Limp would like to go and just remove Rasmus here as FNG, but the hook shot will ensure that is a dead Rasmus, but they do have to be on the run now. Ace up into the trees. They're dropping some of the traps. S4 is nearby. They'll stun over here onto the Clockwork. S4 waiting patiently here. Are they going to be able to keep alive? No, but they should be able to put a little bit of damage over here to this TA. The rest of the side of the Smashers getting into position. Again, it feels like they're just continuously buying this time here for the DOTA. Smashers having to be very, very active right now, but the problem is they don't have creeps. They don't have, you know, they win this battle, and then what's their objective that they take, Purge?
In this case, it's not as good, obviously, but they've gotten objectives on the Smashers the last 2 fights at least, so even if they buy a little time, right now it's okay for the Smashers because they're hitting a big timing soon. Once they get BKBs on the Monkey King and the TA, the Pugna just doesn't matter anymore. Pugna is going to have to start playing really defensive instead.
Nice spear over to the side here. They even go, they drop the arena just to ensure that they get the kill on Stormstormer. And Limp is hunting. Hook shot coming in again from FNG. The push back immediately. This is just going to be a dead Warlock, although he had the 4-step. He's trying so hard, but the stroke of fate coming in from Hanskin will ensure that Tofu falls.
Very greedy in some ways. He dewarded his Berserker ward. He knew his opponents were going to regain control there, but by dewarding it, they spotted him in time. They get him with a hook shot. He dies. So saved them from getting experience from his ward, but then he dies himself. I mean, his ulti wasn't up for 25, so it's not like they're going to fight. Roche isn't there either, so not the end of the world, but still a bit defensive for Hellbear Smashers. They just need to finish their BKBs, and then fighting is going to be so much easier for them. Mars is going to feel less. Pugna's going to feel massively less. And their right-click heroes can do what they want at that point, outside of like Stone Gaze and Clock.
How did Ace's courier die?
Clicked it in the wrong.
I guess.
That's how it always dies for me. I'll like try to send it to myself, but I right-click the ground before reselecting my hero, and then it might be somewhere weird and ends up dying.
Oh no!
I didn't lose any BKB parts though, but.
I've been told sometimes the couriers like to make some weird detours in the middle lane too.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
When they're walking?
No, like just traveling through. Sometimes they bug out, actually. It's happened a couple times. But positioning here around the top tier 2 here for the side of Alliance, and you can see they're just doing some mirroring action currently on the side of Hellbears.
That's something to do while they're buying time, for sure.
FNG is teleporting though. Figure they've got this tower in the bag, and they're looking to probably try to fight them off of the building down here. Yeah, the smoke comes out. FNG trying to get into position. Does see Stormstormer. Careful, the teleports are coming out. Hookshot in, again, immediately over to the TA. Going to Cock, throw right off the side. They go, they drop the cast offering, but look at this damage. The Soulbind comes out again, looking to just spear him over. They're going to be able to go. They take it down. Follow up here over on Gilgear. Who's next to fall? Ace the Stone Gaze, and the Sink just holding them at the place. my goodness. Ace goes down, Rasmus goes down too, and now Tofu is trying to hide in the corner, but you can't run from S4. It's a triple kill.
FNG punishes them so often in this game. He's been playing so good.
This clock is so value. Oh my gosh.
They see it coming. They hook shot the TA consistently, and he can't blink afterwards, especially with the Ink Soul. He got refraction off. He might have been able to blink out otherwise. The healing ward, sorry, the Nether ward is down. The Mars ulti comes out. If they just have BKBs, this fight is completely different. BKB comes out in TA, Clockwork instantly dies. Yeah, maybe he's a little bit pressured, but they can actually stand and fight. Instead, they just get outmaneuvered. They thought that they could split there and get the tier 2 in time, but they didn't even get to half HP. And they again take a huge fight disadvantage before they hit their BKB time. And this buys more time for Medusa to hit her late game.
And steal your stacks.
Yep.
That feels very bad for Hellbear Smashers right now. Working on the Scotty next as the item for the DOTA. Limp has just, his positioning has also been very, very good throughout this being, oh dear, oh Tofu, he just stepped out of his base. He just wanted to put down a ward, guys, over on the back line. So they find Ace. They're gonna try to hold him into place here. They're stunning up S4, trying to keep him in place, but they just lose Ace immediately. He takes one step out. S4 even going for the arena. He would like this kill over on Tofu, and by God, he will find it.
They're punishing the Smashers so hard. These like last 2 to 3 team fights that just went a little bad for the BKB buyers. It just completely messed up their whole game. It feels so difficult for them to play now because they haven't finished their BKBs, and thus the net worth advantage for Alliance is just too close. So Medusa now gets the death ball. She sits in front, Pugna sits behind. They get to do their decrypt combo still for the next fight, and it's just getting worse and worse for them.
How do you push these guys off of your buildings right now is the question. You can see that, you know, the Hellbear Smashers, they realize they can't do anything currently. They just try to push out the other lanes, and Alliance is just going to walk right away very easily. Probably go hit creeps a little lower and just chill.
They have a really big goal today. They want to get their first 2-0 of the season, so they don't want to lose any games that are won, and right now this game looks really, really good. So they just have to play a little safe. I love the halberd on Mars as well. He doesn't really need BKB that badly this game, so being able to disarm TA as they go in is a massive advantage. So they're just going to farm the enemy tri-camp. That's going to force Smashers to spread out in areas that are less efficient as the tri-camp, and they'll just look for a pick-off, take another tower, or take the racks.
Boom! There it goes.
Game firmly in Alliance's hand right now, as they just methodically are sweeping across the map. And again, FNG, okay, the 4-step comes out. They will end up leaving Gilgir behind, though. This is looking like a very dead lion as they get the soul bind off, too. Spear over onto the side. The double stuck coming out. They'll go and they'll drop that golem on the back line. But look at Nico, baby. He's just chasing them down one by one, taking down Tofu. He'd like to take down Rasmus, too, but isn't going to be able to get his hands on them.
Radiant's top
and now they're so far ahead, FNG needs to initiate on any hero, and his team's gonna be able to follow up. So he gets the hook shot again. They've got Solar Crest. They're not slowing down. They're going high ground here.
I mean, this has just been the FNG show, honestly. The way that he's gone in with the cogs, the way he's grabbed people, held them in place for Limp to go get the drain.
I mean, everybody's been playing really good.
Yeah.
FNG's definitely been there at all the fights. It feels like 17 of the 21 kills. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
It's Limp as well. Limp has been at 18 of the 21 kills, so both these guys playing excellent. Solid laning stage, good tower pressure, not getting picked off. And with the golem used there, it's looking rough for the Smashers. They've got their BKBs done at this point, at least, but now their net worth advantage doesn't look as good. They're not just going to instantly blow up supports and maybe be able to pick off somebody else. It's still going to come down to initiations, obviously. If they get hookshotted and then they BKB, it's not going to feel as good, but if Smashers can initiate first, could be a very different world. It just also hurts that Gilgir had to go force this game because of the clock. He doesn't have blink. That means their initiation feels more difficult. He did buy Shard, though. That'll be pretty good against Clockwork. Make yourself magic immune.
Yeah,
kind of cool, but they can get a grab.
We'll be able to take down some of those illusions, too. Was always pretty nice. But again, this has come down to who gets to jump on who, because that's the problem, is that Hellbear Smashers, they don't want to take these long, drawn-out engagements, because Nico Babe just super happy to sit in the middle of everything. And look at this, the hook shot again from FNG with the Inksplosion, just immediately pushing off to the side here on the centaur. Stormstormer jumping on the other line, but they have the Stone Gaze here. They've got the Mystic Snake as they just chew people on the back line. They take that Tofu, they take that Rasmus, Gilgir, and now they're soulbound up over here. Stormstormer and Ace in this terrible-looking, just three-legged race as Nico Baby chases down 8. They really want to get the kill over here onto Lip, and they're not going to be able to because it just gets frozen here into place. That's another kill here, and the G's get dropped.
I mean, it was time, basically. They needed to hit this BKB timing against their opponents like a couple minutes ago, 4 or 5 minutes ago, without giving them team fight advantage wins. And they just didn't hit the timing. And the reason that fight started the way it did, I just saw the sentry was slightly too far to the right. It didn't spot that observer board that was far left of that cliff camp.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And then we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning. You wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face. Got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, 'cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came.
I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly. I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly. The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue. They change, but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but delightful to live through. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season.
We're going to find out as we are very close to being ready for the draft of Game 2. However, we did promise you an answer for the DHL drop quiz. So the answer to the question, which of the heroes other than Enigma, Io, and Keeper of the Light is known as the fundamentals, is Chaos Knight. So that would be, if you did exclamation mark DHL drop B, then you are correct, so you should be somewhere on top of the leaderboards. Congratulations. That's not all, though. You gotta continue doing well throughout the entirety of the rest of the days where we're gonna do the questions. So you gotta keep paying attention and hope that you get lucky enough, and if you're smart enough, to catch a prize. So that was our first DHL drop question, and we are now ready for the draft of Game 2. I'm here with Kyle and Seagov.
Hello.
Hello. Are you happy with this elevator music behind me?
I want that to be like a mini meta developing where a group of people who got the first question wrong now start deciding to tank the answers for future. Because like Twitch has like a hive mind, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if all the guys that just got it wrong, you don't have 100%, start spamming the wrong answers.
Yeah.
And then hopefully a couple guys will believe you, and then suddenly that hive mind loses out. So yeah, there's a mini meta for DHL potentially forming right here, right now, live.
All right, for this one, Smashers will be on the Radiant side, Alliance on the Dire side, and they get their hands on the coveted Ancient Apparition. We see what was a 93% rate of victim ban. Contested rate. That's the word I was looking for. Yes. Gotcha. They still surprisingly ban out first phase Monkey King.
No, again, it's a lot of respect towards Smashers, and I think like that first game, it just showcased Alliance discipline and understanding of their timings, and it gave Smashers like their ability to try and play with a high pace that they do. But again, they lost that game because of their positioning, because of the punishment that Alliance put upon them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the big green machine.
Radiant
just
team picks.
Might have looked rough at a point, but I don't think any fans were really concerned. They've seen Alliance play that sort of style all season long, and they really met less resistance in that game than they would typically. And
are you saying that this could be Alliance's first 2-0 of the season?
It's quite possible. They really haven't 2-0'd anybody yet?
No, it's been 2-1 the entire way. Wow. Even the series they lost was a 2-1. Like, they haven't even beaten cleanly. So yeah, it's...
And it goes to show just how evenly matched this entire region is. In some ways, Alliance winning this season could be considered good for Europe as a whole, because it would guarantee 2 spots directly invited. Would be a little shaky if it was anyone other than Alliance in that top spot.
Yeah, because we keep saying that, you know, there's a lot of teams that still, if Alliance lose a series, we keep saying that there's a lot of teams that potentially have a chance of a tiebreaker for them to still make it to the top. But realistically, all of Europe DPC should be rooting for Alliance to get top here so that it can go on based on points alone. So that,
to an extent, I mean, you wouldn't see like Nigma make that argument as an example, because they want 500 points and they want to be
tiebreaker, exactly.
Because a lot of these regions are way up in the air. I think SEA and South America specifically are going to have a lot of impact on how the point differential actually works out. As an example, Fnatic, they won Season 1 in Southeast Asia. Now they're in a 3-way tie for first place. So if they win, that's very good for every other region, because now suddenly they have this point buffer that they don't need that guarantees their spot.
Yeah.
Whereas if they finish, say, 3rd, they're still going to TI, but now these
someone
other
else
teams
gets a lot of points as well.
So the same goes with NA as well, to an extent.
that aside, Smashers entering the second game, they try going to the tried and somewhat tested. Ban out the tanky boys, you go Timbersaw Centaur ban. If you don't pick up the Mars, it gives a Alliance, that next pick in line. I think they're the key three to Alliance's success so far. There's only 2 bans, so Alliance will always be able to get at least one of them.
What do we think of the Treant Protector?
I love it. I was talking with Fogged about this. He thinks the hero is busted, and I can agree. But a lot of it comes down to the skill build and how the hero is played. What do you say, T?
I'm just going to say that Holy Locket, of course, works on your living armor on towers as well. That's why we're seeing that being a rush for the hero. And I don't mind it because I think we've just saw it in low division, the idea of tree, which is when you have a carry that naturally plays into the jungle, this hero can thrive playing off of grasp, keep the tower alive. And when you already show like an AA5 and then you respond with a Mars, this isn't just innate tower pressure coming out. So it does give Smashers game 1, high pace, high tempo. Game 2, they're like, okay, no. Let's slow the game down, give ourselves a way to play into the mid to late game, and don't force ourselves to constantly try and find engagement, because against Alliance, they're going to pick you apart.
I'm concerned if they don't ban Nico's PL, though. I think Illusion Cores look very strong in this instance. And keep in mind, Alliance, they just won a game with DOTA. I'm sure that they have answers in mind.
Yeah.
The Mars specifically, I think, was a big key for them with the DOTA because it provides the AoE control. It's a pretty even laner no matter what it's up against in the off lane. And it's also very good against the DOTA. You're going to eat all the arrows with the Bulwark.
Yeah, and that's why you see also they're banning out Puck and Axe, all heroes that are able to make people face the way of the Medusa. Or rather, keep them in an area, keep them controlled.
Love to see a Beastmaster from Rasmus. One of his better offlane heroes. I believe he won the Shanghai Major while playing it, though of course it was a little stronger when you could buy Necrobook.
I will give a little bit of props here to Smashers, though. We see the player cams, they are keeping their spirits high, they're still smiling. They're 0-6, they're a game down now in the final series, and they're still being happy, still enjoying the fact they get to play in the DPC upper division.
Yeah.
They're final series.
This is the most glorious time to be a professional Dota player. When you're in a big match,
Radiant team pick.
the enemy team needs a win, and all you need are memes. Playing for the memes. It's just...
memes make the dreams.
They do. They're going down to Division 2. What does that mean? That's a good question. I don't even know.
They still get to play qualifiers. What does that mean after TI?
The next DPC season seems like so far away. This one started like a week and a half after the major ended, whereas the next one will be in what, like 4 months, 5 months?
After we've crowned the next champion of the world.
Yeah, it's wild.
That is wild.
Smashers now respecting pretty much just Nico, baby. Oh, you know what? We've picked our Medusa. You're going to know what you're going to want to play, so they get rid of the counter, which is the anti-mage, and then the pressure that is applied through Morphling and Void.
And they go back for the Lion.
Pretty much just a block pick here. When you see Alliance with this Mars, you need to think of what's that +1 with it, and often it's Tanky Boy plus Lion. We can develop the analysis of that strat there, and yeah, you just take away the Lion.
10 seconds remaining.
They could just... You don't really want to go clock anymore because, of course, against Tree, Medusa is kind of underwhelming.
Pretty nice Darkseer game for Alliance if they wanted to put the Mars to mid. I'm still feeling a 4th pick PL likely going to come out, but here you're just going to take Hanskin's hero.
Well, Alliance hasn't really played against Medusa so far in the DPC. The one time that they did, they tried running a Slark where it was very kind of hit and miss early game, didn't really get into the game too much. A couple,
When you say tried running a Slark, they lost that game.
Hence tried.
Because
they haven't tried it again.
No, but they haven't had to play against Medusa again.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
They're one and done. They're like, woof, let's not do it again. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what their new plan is potentially, or if they just run the Slark again because Alliance, they're not in a position, they don't have to really reveal anything, right? They're already secured at the major.
Yep, and they have, they're also a game up, so like no pressure, right?
Pride's on the line here, Sheever.
That's true. Can they take a series 2-0?
You want to close out this season, finally getting a 2-0 against a team that, on paper, again, when you're seed 1, they're seed 8. This is the series that should be the 2-0. Exactly.
Yeah.
The question is, they want to go double squishier range support? Do they want to give Hanskin something they can rotate with, like a Tusk or an Earth Spirit he's known for?
Could just go for like an SD here. You mentioned Darkseer most likely for the illusions, but it's the kind of same idea.
Oh, we got the cow! I know you're a big fan,
I love Spirit Breaker, but Spirit Breaker is not that good against slows. So Tree's actually really good against Spirit Breaker.
But you can charge and find him wherever he would be hiding in the trees. Quite nice against Lion too.
Alliance, in their very first game of the entire DPC League Season 2, they played the Spirit Breaker on Hanskin. They also went for the Limp Mars that game as well, by the way. It did not work out.
There was a PL in that game too?
There was also a PL in that game.
I will say, I think it's much more likely now that Darkseer does come out. This is the old school combination. Darkseer, Spirit Breaker, put the Mars mid, really active.
Tango.
Okay, wow. Interesting.
Interesting generally is not necessarily a good thing. What do you truly think about the Rasmus Pango?
It potentially could be Rasmus, could be Stormstormer. I expect it probably just to be Rasmus, but they are giving themselves some type of way to play into a potential illusion hero. Adding wave clear through Pangolier can go Maelstrom. And they go for the Darkseer, yeah. So mid-Mars, they go for the classic combination of Spirit Breaker Darkseer.
And this also makes it a lot easier for them to take Nico's hero. You can't really replace Darkseer as an offlaner. Spirit Breaker Mars is not a great combo. And sure, Hellbear Smashers now, they'll ban out probably PA and PL. But,
then you still
any
have
melee carry
the Jugger in there. The Lifestealer is still up for grabs. The Sven is still up for grabs.
The main thing here, though,
Spectre is still up for grabs.
This Spirit Breaker Darkseer lane isn't going to be the easiest lane for them.
Sorry.
They're playing, no, it's fine. They're playing into a tree. Naturally, is very good against these heroes, but the grass can punish melee aggression.
DOTA will free farm.
So for Alliance, they don't have clean tower damage that they had in the first game. And that's the main reason how they picked apart Smashers was early tower pressure to prevent just simple map movement. So yeah, Alliance, they have to do really well at just early skirmishes to break down the map before Pango has Maelstrom +1, before Medusa has what Nico Baby had in game 1.
This is really reminiscent of the sort of stuff that I used to play back in the day when I had Limp and Hanskin as my boys. You're punished mostly by big team fight spells, and if you can't play fast and just always be on map, things can get a little dicey, but it's a really fun way to play Dota 2.
So is there a way for Hellbear Smashers at the moment to... Like, I just see this Alliance draft so far, they're gonna run at Smashers, right? Is there a way for Smashers to stop that?
Yeah, counter aggression. That is king for Smashers. They have the weakness of their draft right now is going to be this offlane. Pango plus Lion isn't going to apply a lot of pressure. It's why they're banning out Slark, for example. And if you have an independent carry that unlocks the AA to play with this Spirit Breaker, with this Darkseer, then it's a lot of difficulties, because Smashers, the best way that they play right now is Pango TPing away from the offlane to counterplay that aggression that naturally will come. So yeah, fundamentally it's having a mid hero that can also TP, so you don't always have to TP the offlane as if you rotate in, giving Nico Baby free farm.
A couple of times when Hellbear Smashers, when Ace had the Medusa, they paired it up with their mid laner for Stormstormer of the Queen of Pain.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind a hero that has some type of disconnect on
Why not? I think Storm over Quap, if that's the direction you're going.
Any hero that can annoy Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker is a hero when you go to mid. If you're playing against anyone with kind of movement or kind of just a way to counter gank you on the tower, it is so hard to play into.
You
can't pick the Limp DK. It's Nico Baby, the other Nightly King.
The PL. If you really want
okay. Pay some pressure. Okay, that's fair. That's fine.
Oh, hey, this is an OD, and this is a hero that in the upper division has not yet been picked, so it's a hero we can tick off our ignored hero list.
Vision is critical right now for Smashers in mid lane, because OD dismantles Spirit Breaker early game if you have the vision available to imprison and stop that charge. And going into the mid to late game, that save, again, it can dismantle this type of game. Omni Slash is a really good game, but it's about pacing, positioning, and vision. And that is the issue of game 1. Smashers lacked good vision and lacked good pacing, sorry. Positioning.
It's so key, too, because you know Alliance is running at you. And you don't have great catch on the side of Hellbear, but your response can be quite good if you are prepared. Your supports provide most of your lockdown. OD wants to save, draw out the fight, but if you aren't prepared, if you can't turn things around and be aggressive to match Alliance's pace, then you're just going to feed heroes.
Alliance are playing with my heart, you know, like I love Spirit Breaker. I used to work with Smashers, so it's like I kind of want Smashers to do well, but then there's a Spirit Breaker, so
it wouldn't be an Alliance series if it doesn't go to a third game.
That is
so you
true.
Can also you can go both ways.
But I think Spirit Breaker is honestly a super underrated hero right now. I think honestly it should be shown a lot more respect within drafts. and I want to see the hero do well. Again, smashes, Spirit Breaker, smashes, Spirit Breaker. That's all I gotta say.
It's just going to come down to how much work Alliance can get done. I think the bottom lane is going to be better, or the safe lane for Smashers will be better than we might expect.
Medusa lane?
Can
like
Medusa, if she is free to just farm ancients, relax, get the mana to get the Ags, things go really well.
Okay, let's see if Ace then can get the Nico baby treatment from previous game, of course, as the roles are swapped this time around. Let's see also if Alliance can take a series 2-0, or if we're going to a third game to this series. We're finding out together with Moxie and Purge.
All right, well, we have a couple heroes that I don't think we've seen in this region yet at all. Purge, how do you feel about them? I know T's very excited about the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, he's been he's like the Spirit Breaker fanboy for sure. He loves the hero. He plays it a lot personally. He says it's underrated, yet almost nobody picks him. And but Alliance picked him. If it was like Hellbear Smashers, I'd be like, oh, okay, they're trying something weird. Maybe it'll work. And maybe Alliance is feeling really comfortable, so they're trying out some different strats or whatever. But yeah, we'll see how it works out. The hero has been, I don't know, it doesn't seem that, I'm not as up to date on it as T Governor is, but it feels like the hero's about the same. I haven't even seen it in pubs recently either.
You've clearly not been playing in the pubs with Tigo.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the OD though? Because that's a big question mark to me too, because we've got kind of a greedy feeling draft, unless, is OD played a bit differently now?
Like a shark.
Well, I would say OD in some ways isn't greedy in a sense, because OD is does not have good AoE. You can't push out lanes very fast. You can't farm very fast. You're good at taking towers and getting solo kills. But past that, you kind of fall off comparison to other semi carries. So we'll see how it turns out. But his mid lane should be all right, especially against Mars. It's kind of cool, because you can guarantee last hits by banishing him. You also do pure damage, which ignores his damage block, I think. Block a portion of each physical attack. Yeah, so the pure is going to go through. The physical component will be partially blocked, but yeah. So OD should be good there. It also provides save. If somebody gets comboed by Mars, you can banish them to keep covered. So there's lots of cool things that OD can do here, for sure.
Well, why have we not seen more of him then, if you're praising him in this respect?
I'm talking about his good parts. Like I said earlier, he cannot push well. If you lose your lane, you're going to have a bad time, because and once you get Meteor Hammer, you need to do banish Meteor Hammer kills. If you aren't successful with those first couple kills, you end up falling behind. You don't snowball as hard, and the whole game gets harder, because then you don't farm as fast. And that's why he was really popular, I think, in the first DPC season, especially in NA, just because he was very good at winning lanes, but they reduced some of his mid stats a little bit.
Has been killed.
The instant courier snipe. This is why you pick Spirit Breaker. That's what T-Gov is saying backstage right now.
I'm not hearing any yay or hurrah coming out from him, so I don't think that's what he's saying, but...
Okay. He has weaknesses, basically,
right.
but you know, there's good things about him as well, so certainly he can be situational, so excited to see if Stormstormer can make him.
Are they just cutting all the trees down below? Just the entire time here?
Oh yeah, that's a very good thing to do when you're dealing with Trip.
Yeah.
You don't want to let him approach you or get close. He's got huge base damage. You want to know when he's about to jump on you, basically. He's got Leech Seed here. Very low mana cost. Very good trading skill. You deal damage to them, they heal you as well. So it's just you're always going to win trades unless you're doing like a 2v1. So
definitely been seeing more and more of this hero cropping up recently. The ability to save your towers and sometimes save your teammates too always feels pretty nice. Plus the
great.
magic of, you know, the overgrowth, being able to go through the BKBs and whatnot.
Yeah, that's really, really good, especially against heroes like Jug that can interrupt his spin TP or something like that. Really effective, at least until Manta comes out, of course. Yeah, Tree's just great for delaying the game, basically. You lane very strong, and then you delay your towers dying. And ideally, that transitions you to a period where your objectives die a bit slower. This buys you time to hit neutral camps, try camps, that kind of thing, get Medusa that farm period of the game, and then everything will follow normally after that.
Not the flashiest of heroes, of course, but definitely gets the job done. And feels pretty nice sitting in this meta currently. But you have to be patient, right?
Yeah, you do. You have to be patient. You have to be a little bit careful in the laning stage. You're strong, but you have to not die too much, because then you lose your laning advantage, and then it just doesn't feel good anymore. Maybe.
Yes, 4 actually, yeah. He's got Surge? No. He's looking at first blood.
Good rotation over. Does a lot of damage. Level 1 Surge, pretty long cooldown, 19 seconds. So Tofu runs him down, and they get a big kill. That's nice.
Who drops the line?
That's the best overall.
Radiant structures are
Leech Seed,
fortified.
Hanskin taking a lot of damage. He does have Tranquil
Dire's
Boots though,
middle
so
tower is under
he will heal
attack.
back up through this. He'll be fine.
This middle lane seems to be going over more towards the Mars here for the time being. 23 and 6 currently on Limp. And then, of course, the OD sitting at 15. No denies, though.
That's probably
It's rough.
mostly because Limp has skills that he can get last hits with, basically. He's got two tools. He's got God's Rebuke and he has Spear Mars. OD could banish something, or he
Oh
can
my gosh,
use
Courier?
There it is. That is why you pick Spear Breaker, guys, right there. Look at that snipe. Incredible.
The second one.
Any other hero with boots as well, but I mean, but also Spear Breaker.
Is there a bounty hunter in this game? DNZ, is that you? Oh, another one. Oh, Hanskin.
Oh my.
Look at all that regen, the wards too. As far as be careful though, he's being plinked away here by Ace. Very, very low there.
That's like 800 net worth that's going to sit in the fountain for a minute and a half.
Regen's expensive now, man.
It is. Time is a ramp Basilius and lots of other things that'll hurt him. What's up, AC? We're gonna fight though. I don't think it's gonna go well.
No, no.
Okay,
Oh no, they're chasing after Ace. There's not much mana left here as S4 trying to just get this value off here with the Iron Shell. They'll turn their attention over here to Tofu. Need a little bit more damage, and it doesn't look like they quite... Oh, that Iron Shell is ticking pretty low, but not quite far enough.
I think Ace should have fought them, honestly. Give me more. Like, Leech Seed is busted. It's level 2 Leech Seed. That would heal both heroes. It's not. It's like actually kind of incredible. 5 seconds of this, it's 150 damage and 150 heal for both heroes. Maybe could have won if he fought to the death, but either way, stays alive. Tofu's Leech Seed paying off. I'm sure he really wishes that he had that Salve that got sniped now, so he could heal either of these guys back up. Here comes the charge back in. Are the guy in shell?
Dire's
They are. Here they go.
has been killed.
They're trying to ace bottom.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Oh, we're looking
tower, though.
at top. Yep. All right. Purge, I've been asked to request that you unmute yourself, please, in the Discord.
Oh,
They're
okay.
trying to whisper sweet nothings into your ear, and they can't do it. It's all good now. Look at look
I
at.
don't talk anymore though. I'm offended. You pointed out that I made a mistake again.
Harumph. It's all good, dude. But yeah, you know, it's funny because we do have, you know, very aggressive moves going on in the bottom lane especially, but have not seen many kills just yet here.
Stabilize, play safe, get farm. It's a lot of blast hits on him. Holy crap. 41 right now.
And 13 denies. Don't forget.
I mean, he's legit lane down. He might get killed. Okay, gets banished, so he'll be all right.
It's fine though.
But this is, it's scary. Like, if he just wins, I mean, he's a level ahead of OD
Oh.
here.
Hello, double damage rune.
That's a good one.
That is indeed. Question is, does he try to make a play here? Yeah, he absolutely does. Fear doesn't miss as Hanskin bumps him over here a little bit outside of the wall, so perhaps a little bit of a snafu here, as now Limp will force to use the God's Rebuke. Gets slowed down by Tofu. So, yeah, Spirit Breaker, the synergies may be a little bit off here. Another nice spear, though, here. Limp, he kind of wants to go in here. Does have the Spirit Breaker nearby.
Again in 3, but either way, they're doing great. Nice level advantage for Limp right now. He's going to steal the enemy bounty rune. Tofu protects him, of course. They'll deward a sentry here, no big deal.
Gonna make a play here, top, that feels like, yeah. Limp, they can see themselves alive. The spear off to the side, too, over onto Rasmus. He's gonna have to swashbuckle himself away, but the gank squad coming out from Alliance, they've got the aggression, and down will go the Pangolier.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Got the hero they wanted. He goes down. Support stays alive. There's the Meteor Hammer pressure finally coming out. So the nice thing about Limp leaving the lane is it allows OD to do this despite the slightly weaker laning stage. And once he gets boots and treads, this will all be better pressure. He's got Hammer and 8. Limp goes up too far. He could get caught here, but he'll be safe, I'm sure.
He's gonna spear away the creeps.
What was this? Another courier snipe coming?
Oh
from
my
Hanskin?
God, Hanskin! Oh, he did see it.
My only regret is that if I was mute on Discord, I don't know if T got to hear me getting real hyped about Spear Breaker all early game.
Oh, I don't know. I hope he did. I think he knows that in spirit, you know?
Radiant are scanning.
He could
Maybe
feel
for
your
one
hype.
person.
That's good. It's gonna go and boop Stormer over here as Limp gets himself that haste over top. Do have to be careful though because they've got plenty of slows and stuns coming out here from the dynamic duo of Tofu and Stormer. So Hanskin will pay for that with his life. But look at this. This is the fastest fish he ever did see here. Chasing down Gilgear, even going for the arena. That is some cute armor you got there from the Triot, but it's not gonna protect you from the God of War.
Felt the difference, but then the ulti came out and it was way too much magic damage. Limp running in mid now. Stormer does have his combo ready though. That was basically what Spirit Breaker was playing on. Hey, maybe his Meteor Hammer isn't up. It's a pretty long cooldown and you have to use it to push waves, so sometimes it's not ready, but got punished for it. It's making OD's game a lot better here, but everybody on Alliance, they all know how the OD build works. It was so popular for a long time. We all got experience playing against it in pubs.
You know who's having a nice time though? Ace.
Who?
Ace is having a nice time. He's hitting creeps. World is pretty calm in his lane. He doesn't have a Spirit Breaker running out of space. I say this as do have the Spirit Breaker running out of space with, of course, the Ancient Apparition. So we'll start off with that Living Armor. The TPs are coming out though. They have to be careful. But you can see they're backing off on the side of Alliance. Teleport does indeed get canceled. Limp is still nearby if they want to try to make something happen. Doesn't have that arena though.
Not sure why Limp wasn't there. I saw they all smoked. He was a little bit more to the east, but a little unfortunate that they missed that.
Hanskin just sticking around here.
So I feel like if Limp is there at the start of that, they definitely get the kill.
Well, he didn't have the arena though. Do you think it's still? Does it still go that way?
Good point. Yeah, maybe not. I mean, they would have done like 2 stuns in a row, but they definitely needed his damage at least. Not that his DPS is that massive outside of the burst, but it would have helped. Either way, they slowed down Medusa a little bit. They wasted the TP for OD. That means if they gank a side lane now, they know that OD can't show up. That's pretty good.
They are running at Stormer. The arena just... Oh, the arena has it, but the Spear not quite there. This time Hanskin not going to be able to bounce them out of the arena, but Rasmus does make his own rotation. Not enough mana, of course, to use that Rolling Thunder, so we'll just provide some support as Gilgear. Going around the other side. Think about making a play. Got the invis.
Standing there. Uh-oh. Dog barking.
The dog is stressed too. Oh my gosh. Gilgear. Oh, the Earthspike on too. The Rolling Thunder coming in hot, and we're just gonna roll around in circles here. It's like, oh, they use the Astral Imprisonment over on the side, and that is a melted ice cream cone.
Okay, not bad. You see what happened when Tango jumped in before through the Mars ulti? He like swashbuckled through it, but it interrupted him because the spears punched him, so he just lost his swashbuckle. That's why his rotation felt so mediocre there. But ultimately works out that great double stun to get the tower as well. It's going okay for Smashers.
Yeah, I'd say so. And again, there's so much space here for this Medusa. It's currently sitting at the top of the net worth, and this is a hero that farms very, very quickly.
He is fast. Doesn't take much, just a couple agility items, get some attack speed up levels are a big deal. We'll get charged bottom though, we'll see.
And they even dropped the wall on top of that. Look at these TPs coming out. They have the vacuum. They're gonna drag back, but Stormer, he is here. They'll find the kill on Tofu. Trying to hold up here with that meme hammer. Hanskin hiding in the corner. He says, please God, don't look over here. Does manage to get Stormer to walk through the wall a little bit. To go right back in again. There it is though. Again, the Astral Imprisonment. S4 can't do a whole heck of a lot, but Limp is of course here. He gets hexed up immediately here from Gilgear. Rasmus Rolling Thunder coming in, bounces right back as he's able to roll around, but the Ice Blast comes in and connects over onto Stormer, as now Limp is just chasing after Rasmus. Nico Baby's here as well. Would love to get his hands over here onto this Pangolier, but just a little too fast for them.
And that bash was so, it changed everything. That bash interrupted the overgrowth, and as a result, the hammer didn't hit. He held it through, didn't hit anybody, and then great dive there. Good rotations from Jug as well as Mars. Rasmus trying to slow this down, but he's not really, I'm not feeling his impact too much. His Rolling Thunder doesn't synergize super well with OD, because sometimes they're just going to be banished. You don't get those hits in, and he didn't really get that many Rolling Thunder hits up on these supports, so things are looking good for Alliance. They haven't really done much to Ace yet, which is the one target they really want, but that'll be the next target. Mid tower, invade, tri-camp, limit what Ace can do, but he's pretty darn close to the items he wants. He finished Dragonlance, so he's delayed on the Manta, but his raw stats are looking really strong right now. So I think Hellbear Smashers, as long as they play around him, are gonna have a decent time.
Well, you can see that they're making the play here for this top tower. They are forced out over their own jungle down in that bottom lane with the tower being taken out, and do have some nice vision being placed up and around here by Alliance, trying to keep tabs on the DOTA. But is calmly hitting away here at this tier 1. Alliance is smoked up. They're thinking about going in for this fight. Them leading the charge. Tower goes down. Do they still stick around? Feels like they're considering it. They're trying to get more information. S4 spotting out Ace. Ice Blast. Can they connect it? The wall. Ice Blast gonna deploy that debuff. And this is not looking great here for the Medusas. Ace, he just doesn't have the mana to be able to go in and use that Stone Gaze, so he's going to fall. They turn this back around. Rasmus rolling around in circles here. They do have the Hex. They have the Finger. Can they burst down Hanskin as he is the one who is left behind, but they missed the stun. He's able to just charge away to the creeps. Over on the back line, Limp is still here, and he is very angry. He's going to duck behind the wall, though. So they'll find the kill on Gilgear.
All right, great fight for Alliance there. Ice Blast missed a little bit, so looked a bit iffy, but they had more than enough damage with everybody else on their team to pick him off.
Stormstormer sticking around.
Yeah, somebody should push out this lane. He's probably hoping he can spot Handskin or get a solo kill.
Yeah.
But I think S4 might see him here. Yeah, he just has to push out this lane. Since Medusa's dead, if he doesn't do this, they're gonna have trouble. So other people, there it is. The spear back, the wall of replica was great. The charge, everything got thrown in there. Great rolling boulder by Rasmus to buy some time, but it's just too much damage.
Is indeed.
And Stormstormer used his Meteor Hammer, I think, to try to save DOTA, canceled it, something like that. I didn't see it. So he didn't have it when the SB came out of the Vanish. That's why they lost that kill. Small mistake there. That ends up costing them a decent amount. A loose Pango in the mid lane.
That was a very disappointed dad sound.
Yes, I don't know why he died in the mid lane. I didn't catch it bad, but Mars picked him up. So maybe remnants of his low HP from the fight. I'm not sure.
Possible. Maybe just stepped a little too far forward here, but you have a 2K net worth lead at 15 minutes into this game. Again, DOTA, though, hitting creeps, doing what they need to do. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, he's just Rasmus sat a little bit too low. Gets speared, and then the God's Rebuke.
A little bit low from the previous fight, so.
Nico Baby and Limp, they find themselves a friend down here. The Pangolier just coming back alive, and now he's gonna be dead again.
Kind of a tough position for a Stormstormer to be in. He looks really limited on his levels here.
Tofu?
Still hasn't skilled his ulti yet. Can't help but think that's a bit weird, but he also needs 4 points of Arcane Orb to get it to 0-second cooldown. He wanted Banish, obviously, at max level to make it easier to land Meteor Hammer and things like that, so, but he hasn't gotten enough kills or been around enough team fights that are successful for him to get all these extra levels. So, like, we haven't even seen a Sammy's Eclipse yet. At some point, he should have gone a solo kill here. We haven't seen it.
Banish up Nico Baby. Good way Alliance is playing, though. The stun. Limp waiting so patiently. He's got the blink, of course, with that arena. Would love to get the jump in here. Hear the Rolling Thunder coming out from Rasmus. Immediately look the way Alliance. They just Delta split. Instantly, Nico Baby, though, finds Tofu. Wants to get rid of this pesky tree as they follow up with the arena. Big ol' Ice Blast getting tossed in as well. The nice stun coming out. The Stormstormer, he's left over on the side. He is going to go down to FNG. Hanskin running away here from Ace over on the back lines. They'll end up losing the Spirit Breaker. Rasmus getting chased after here by Nico Baby, trying to get that disarm off. Not gonna be able to quite find it. Ace, though, left behind here. He's separated from the rest of his team as Limp just focusing him down. Again, Nico Baby charging after Tofu, immediately finds himself Medusa over in the tree line. No mana left over here for this Medusa. The spin is out. She doesn't have the Stone Gaze here. They just roll around and down will go the Medusa. And they'll just focus up over on the tower.
Some doing, but they win the fight eventually. It looked really good for Smashers because they had perfect vision of their opponents, but they ward to the right, spotted the rolling boulder coming, and as a result, Alliance gets to disengage without getting caught there. It's almost like they need to just start with Overgrowth to lock them down, but they couldn't have anticipated. Great
Gilgear? It was a great hex. Is it going to be enough to save him, though? Stormstormer buys him just a bit more time, but I'm pretty sure that this kill belongs to Nico Baby.
Taking a while to kill the tower, but I mean, team fight after team fight now, Alliance is winning them. They've killed DOTA twice in a row now. The fights haven't really gone convincingly in the other direction. Stormstormer hasn't gotten a kill in a while. He does have a Witchblade, which is a cool item for OD, but in the last fight, his attacks were just getting caught by the end of the Arena of Blood, so it didn't even do that much either. So if OD doesn't get solo kills in transition here, it just doesn't feel as powerful.
Yeah, do you know, has Hellbear Smashers been running the OD at all in any of their drafts recently, or is this purely a pickup because they see a Spirit Breaker and they're like, well, we got to protect someone in the middle lane?
Yeah, could be something like that. Hey, we can have a core that also has save, and it'll be safe against the Spirit Breaker. And we don't have to worry about that lane. It certainly could be stuff like that. But the downside is that they haven't been able to punish with it. They haven't gotten kills, and he's done some stuff in team fights. But if you're not turning kills out in team fights, then you're not getting some advantage back whenever you lose objective.
Yeah, on paper, in theory, it sounds pretty good, but it has been struggling a bit with also the aggression coming out from the side of Alliance. So look at this vision coming out from the side of Alliance too. They're really just trying to invade here, trying to keep tabs on anyone who's moving around. Nice deep ward here placed. We'll spot out Tofu just making his own rotations, and they do throw one over on the triangle. From Stormer, Ice Blast coming in. It's gonna knock him off to the side a little bit, but should be able to still. Oh, he drops the hammer. It's not enough to take down Hanskin though, because Lip's coming right back up again. He's got to dodge out of the way. Rasmus though, rolling on through. Will allow him to get the kill. As S4 in the mid lane, he drops the wall. Is he gonna be able to survive? This looks pretty good here. They can turn this back around. Looks like Gilgear will go down. S4 having to be a bit careful in the top lane though. Again, they have that banishment. They'll finally take down Hanskin as well.
That was huge that he was able to survive. He was like 10 damage away from the ice ulti proccing. Raindrop absolutely saving his life there. Really big plays. Great banish on the Mars Breath, the spear from hitting during the ultimate, and the Wishblade paying off, honestly. It's a great item on OD, and by all means, gives you armor, which is great for solo cores like this. So Omni/Restless gives you int, which is great. Gives you attack speed, which is great. More projectile speed, and obviously you have tons of int on OD anyway, so not as much as you used to, because now you steal mana, not int, but still, it's a great item with this high int gain, and definitely kept them alive there in that fight.
Definitely value for sure. All right. Alliance still very much the aggressors here, but only a 2K lead. Currently at about 20 minutes in.
Yeah, they lost out a little bit there.
That's a nice strike coming out from the Hellbear Smashers, identifying, you know, hey, we can get these pickoffs. And like you said, Purge, you wanted to see more of these pickoffs. You wanted to see, you know, some of these, not necessarily solo kills, but finding these opportunities, for sure.
Yes, getting charged. And Rasmus was playing near him. They possibly anticipated that. Like, I did see Stormstormer turn his hero in anticipation of the charge, but because it was nighttime, he didn't see him in time, so it's a little bit harder. But yeah, and now great ward vision here. It might not spot S4. It does not. They don't know he's coming just yet, but maybe they'll grab FNG. They see him with the smoke.
Yeah, he's got to be very careful. Yeah, look at the skill gear.
No finger.
Thinking about it. Stormstormer. The rest of the team immediately punishing them for this as S4 jumping forward here. They've got that living armor. Gilgear, the spear comes through, and the charge is out over here onto Rasmus, who does manage to interrupt it. Stormstormer gonna teleport out. They don't have any way to cancel it, but Rasmus is, of course, left behind as Tofu running for his life as well. It's like they should be able to get everybody else out.
Like, I just feel like if he's playing any other mid hero, they just instantly blow up the AA there, like literally any spirit hero, etc. But the issue is that, like, you banish somebody, you wait like a second, and then you have to channel Meteor Hammer for 2.5 seconds. If you get hit by any stun in that moment, you're like, oh my god, I should have ran, you know? And then you just die. So in that circumstance, they just had to walk away, which put them in a weird spot. On the bright side, they only lost line. Gilgear, rough KDA, 0-5 in wound, but he's almost got Blink Dagger. And frankly, if he just gets Blink and helps start fights or casts at least all of his spells before he dies, I'm pretty happy with his performance. Like, they just gotta keep Medusa alive, keep hitting items.
Choo-choo! Here comes Hanskin. They'll go and use the Overgrowth to buy Tofu a bit more time. Ice Blast gets tossed. That doesn't quite connect, but all of this damage will.
Are fortified.
Yep, one for Solar Crest, doesn't have the shard yet, thus very easy to catch when he goes for the split push. Really nice to have SB in that case. If it was old Nature's Prophet, you just for like Tinker Ward sound, you just don't see him.
TP coming out here from Limp. The arena, he's got the spear immediately, and they're gonna have the charge out as well. He does end up using that arena. They go and they drop the hammer, but they drop the wall on top of it too, and they drag everybody back into the beautiful vacuum. So Rasmus will fall, and Stormstormer will go down right after him. Ace teleporting out, not gonna be able to quite get their hands on this Medusa this time around. Gilgear does finish up that Blink Dagger finally, and is hightailing it out of the area.
He's just so confident. He's got 4 points in his Bulwark now, so he's taking almost no physical damage. He had an Essence Ring. He didn't even use his BKB, even though he had it.
Oh, Gilgear, the spear forward immediately. Hanskin is here. Can they turn this around? The Hanskin's taking a lot of damage under the tower, plus with that finger. Not quite enough as the Omni Slash is coming through. Tofu will fall. The spin coming out now. Nico Baby just gonna back off since the Stone Gaze has been popped. And they did just pick up the Aghanim Scepter here for Ace as well, so that's a big item for this Medusa.
Radiant's
Yep, and
bottom
S4
tower
has
is
his
under
also.
attack.
Finished mech first, has Ags, basically giving HP to his allies and more HP when he uses mech. It's the only reason Spiritbreaker lived there, I'm pretty sure. Good backup by that. So the pressure continues for Alliance. 5k advantage now. They're on the enemy side of the map. No access to tri-camps. They've got it very warded up. They do have Blink on Lion.
Oh, they're going to try to make a play?
Too far.
Rasmus is just having a fun time rolling around, you know? Yes. Sometimes it's like that. Look at this. Jungling efficiency right there.
Yeah. Creep solar up, right?
They definitely saw that too. They saw that he went and he whiffed it.
Alright, they got 5 sentries on Tofu. Let's see how many of the D wards they can get here in this area. Because there are 3 wards. One of them is pretty easy to grab. The other 2 a bit random. We'll see. Sentry is going to grab it right away. One out of 3.
Radiant's bottom
How many
tower
more can
is
you
under
get?
attack.
I mean, it's a lot of ward in the same place. In some ways, this like disincentivizes you from centering here. He is gonna go all the way though and keep checking all the spots. Because sometimes like putting 2 wards in a similar place is a great way to trick your opponents. They get one and they're like, oh nice, I got it. There's the easy one that we expect him to get. I don't think he'll get the one over by the secret shop probably. I have not seen that one before, but he may do the cliff. Yep, and that's not gonna.
That's a lot of gold dedicated to just the sentries here. They still have
he got 2 wards. He offset it for sure.
They still have the obs over there too. I didn't find.
Yeah, that one's gonna probably stay there. I don't expect them at that one.
Dire's
So
top
that could
tower
help. Maybe
is
they'll
under
find
attack.
Hellbear's grouping up for Roche or something like that.
Smoke up over here on the side of Alliance. See Stormstormer, they do whiff the spear, but they should be able to push him towards the wall again as the follow-up. The cavalry's here. You have to be careful, Gilgear. Trying to get into position, trying to perhaps... Nah, they just realized, all right, Stormstormer. Sorry, mate, you're dead.
It's really hard to be OD in this circumstance. He's queuing up a 4-step, but it's like if the Mars ulti comes down, he's just caught. He either needs BKB. Maybe he'll do BKB first. He does have the Ogre Axe, but it's tough. He gets Mars ulti and he's committed. And SP's going to be there too. It's like you're never going to win those fights. If they can slow down the Roche at least, but I don't.
I mean... Yeah, you don't want to go rolling into that. In fact, they spot out Gilgear because of the nice... Okay, it's a good spike here. Whiffs the spear. Houndskins, though, very, very speedy. Nice Yules, though, will interrupt for now, and it looks like Alliance, they will back off, but you know what? That means Nico Baby gets himself an Aegis, as Houndskin immediately gets turned to stone, is chasing after Ace. Nico Baby, though, running after Ace right now. Immediately, the follow-up, they've got a nice wall, they've got the BKBs, as well as Rasmus just rolling on through here, trying to make as much chaos as possible, as Ace is managing to just walk away, but oh, they're backing over here, onto the wall, they follow up with the arena, they're forced to walk through again. As there it is, there's that Stone Gaze running right back, and Nico Baby on the back line, he's somehow still alive as Tofu goes in, FNG also falls, Nico Baby somehow still alive, as soon as he's gonna be able to get the kill over, so they do, and that's gonna be the Aegis getting popped. The buybacks are coming out though now for Hellbear smashes, Lion and that Treant coming back in, but Nico Baby's got his eyes on the prize, he wants Stormstormer, and he's just not gonna be able to quite find it in time as Gilgear turns back around. Can they get this kill over to Nico Baby? Yes, they do!
What a fight. That Observer Ward paid off. They got the initiation online, but he defended himself so well there. And they were luckily able to stay out of the wall. Medusa got to let that spear from Limp actually really messed up the fight, in my opinion. I think he thought there was going to be a tree there or something, but they all got shredded. He got pushed all the way away from their BKB cores. And the nice thing was that Ace had not popped his BKB yet at that moment. So fight worked out. He's got Shard as well in the Medusa, so he's throwing Mystic Snakes back every 12 seconds that somebody throws a spell at him. This could be Charge especially. I think that's the coolest thing about it. Just shoot a snake across the whole map, I guess. It just knows where Spiritbreaker is. Wants to be a Spiritbreaker, but it's just a snake, you know.
Yeah, you know. Okay, look at this.
He had the vision to block that one. Then the Hex afterwards, the spear is going to miss.
Radiant's bottom
So he did see
tower
SB
is
coming,
under attack.
but either way, reacted really well. Luckily, the
Are scanning.
spear did not hit. He's able to stay alive, and that bought him a lot of time and helped them take a really good fight.
They did end up having to buy back on both of the supports during that fight, but they secured themselves kill on Nico Baby, and they were also able to just remove that Aegis, so...
Great.
I think you're okay with that if you're on the side of Smasher. So Medusa still sitting top net worth, 18k here.
I mean, OD ate a full Omni Slash there, and he was able to stay alive with Astral Imprisonment. Like, that was pretty insane. And then they killed him afterwards as well. That was really well done. Jug just doesn't seem like the strongest late game carry, and that's one issue that the hero has to deal with sometimes, but He does a lot of other good stuff. Healing Ward, Omni-Slash can be really good against the right force. It's very good against Medusa at times. But as the game continues, Nico B will be fine. He's got Eye Scotty, so limited healing. Really nice slow against Dusa. Rangers do not like playing against Scotty buyers, because the slow is even more extreme. So if you ever catch Medusa out of position, she's gonna die for sure if she doesn't have her ult.
Smashers are playing very tightly around Ace here, realizing that any smoke gank, because the line's very, very aggressive, of course. They want to be able to protect her at all costs, so they are moving very tightly together. Same thing, though, on the side of Alliance. They have their focus over in this top area of the map for the most part. You have S4 a little bit off to the side, just pushing out some waves.
All these items, all these neutral items. It's hard to decide. These are all really good. The Pupil's Gift is ridiculously good on Medusa. It gives her, like, what, 280 HP from strength, and it gives her a bunch of mana, which mana contributes to HP as well because of Medusa. So it's just like, it's like a 500 HP item or something. Like, she's gonna keep it, and they'll leave the quiver on the OD to give him some nice starts with both Witchblade and Arcane Orb. They're like perfect items that reinforce each other. So.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And maybe put the living armor over on that mid tower for the time being, but
Radiant's middle tower is under
attack. Does help a lot, actually. They don't have the best damage. That's not true. They got Deso and they have Orb of Destruction on Limp, actually. He's gonna like one-shot the line if he gets on top of him with God's Review. Line's gotta be careful here.
I mean, Gilgir does have himself that blink now, so should be in a better position here to not immediately get blown up.
But if somebody like initiates him, Limp's just gonna like blink and give him the shield slap. He's dead for sure. Even the tree's got to be a bit worried. He's got more HP, obviously, but not the best armor. Good control for Alliance because Roshan is not there. Basically, Smashers just don't even have to touch the tri-camp area. This is a really good way to do this. So now they've cut the mid wave and the bot wave. This is going to mean that, yeah, Alliance can keep pushing here, but it's going to allow Hellbear Smashers to potentially split push. They're going to get a Meteor Hammer on the bot tower pretty safely. They're not going to see this coming. Most likely. Not that they care, probably. They just want to go high ground, basically. Or wait for an opportunity where they can pick somebody off for free. Early Sentry Ward placed by Gilgard. This is really important because a lot of times supports will move forward, get a ward down there, and you don't want to deward it right now because then the enemy team's ready for you. So nice that he did this ahead of time. Now they're just trying to see who gets picked off.
Well, the Rapier has been queued up. Oh God, Ace just outright buys it. Okay, I thought, you know, we might see a little cheeky play where, you know, you lock one piece or another. Have to be so careful, but he does manage to teleport out in the nick of time.
This is a perfect time to buy Rapier, honestly. Like, especially after they won that last fight, this feels like a hopeful Rapier. That it's like, okay, we're still in it. We just need to take a good fight. And frankly, the Dusa feels hard to kill. Very difficult to kill right now. Yeah, sure, Wall Repli would be okay, but like, can lane, like she can fight very good against Juggernaut, against Mark. She has so much raw HP, she's not as vulnerable to bird stuff.
S4. Smoke gets broken over here on Tofu, drops a ward. The Vision can see Hanskin and S4. Nico Baby making his way over as well. The positioning coming out from Smashers. Immediately, the Rolling Thunder rolling on through here. It's gonna bounce around. Beautiful wall. The vacuum, they drop the hammer. Gilgir just immediately gets obliterated. As now the rest of the side of Alliance, they're trying to just avoid this Dusa for the time being. They found themselves a Pangolier over up here onto the cliffside. There's an Omni-Slash over the backline. Can they take down Ace? They take him out! There's a Rapier on the deck, my friends, as Hanskin goes down. Rasmus also falls. And that is indeed a team wipe for the Hellbear Smashers. And Nico Baby just got himself a nice, shiny new toy.
The Divine Rapier, the Blade of Alacrity. What's the best option? Man, the fight just was really well executed by Alliance. I mean, Hellbear Smashers got to initiate correctly, right? They jumped in, they got the rolling boulder on Nico Baby. Nico Baby was on the ground for a while, but
they're just going to finish.
They jumped in, they just changed everything.
There's no buyback other than the Pangolier. What can Rasmus really do here?
You read it right?
Yeah.
Perfect call by Alliance here.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
All right, there it is. The G's get dropped. Alliance, they've done it. They've secured themselves the top spot here. Season 2 of the Western European DPC. Gotta be feeling real good right now.
Yeah, they played so good this season. I mean, they crushed last.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown, but we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow, where you go I go too, and if you hit the bottom I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be, you know you'll have a good time wherever